Hey everybody, Mark here. The screen is supposed to be black at the moment, so don't panic. How to go choosing your social network sites that are best for your business. If you did that, great. If you didn't, before we move on, please choose them. And if you're already signed up, let's go to step 2. The 4 ingredients of social media success using your graphics hub. The 4 ingredients are images, colors, fonts, and layouts. They are all elements of graphic design, and they play a huge role in making your brand image stand out. Considering up to 90% of information transmitted to the brain is visual, it's no surprise that people respond well to great design. In this step, find and choose the font pairings you like that best represent your business. Okay, we're going to use commercially free fonts that you can get at Google Fonts. They are all commercial free, or you can go to Font Squirrel. There's other places to check out, but at Font Squirrel, you just check the licensing for each font. That's fontsquirrel.com and fonts.google.com. For font pairings, you want to change up the thickness of the font. You may want to choose a serif font plus a sans serif font. If you don't know what that is, just Google that. Or you can get a cursive or handwritten font that's very readable with a regular font. And I'll show you that in a minute. For font pairings, you want to choose 2. A maximum of 3, but I recommend 2 right now. You can include fonts that you use on your blog, but they don't have to match as long as they fit well together. Okay, so let's check some out here. Okay, so here we are at fonts.google.com, which is one of the places we mentioned we can get commercial free fonts. So there's tons of them here. You can search serif, sans serif, display, handwriting, monospace. And okay, I was mentioning also what's the difference between sans serif and serif. If you don't know it, you can do a Google search yourself, but just to give you a quick rundown, there's the difference here. It's got these decorative flourishes on the end, so all that is on here. You can see these ones, these little guys here, and the sans means without, right? So without those little flourishes on the end. That's the only difference on them. So sometimes you want a cleaner. These are easier to read usually and are used on a larger. These look like a traditional kind of printer, typewriter type things. Okay, so we head back over to fontsgoogle.com, and as I also mentioned, you can see the handwriting fonts. So if we click off these and just get some handwriting fonts, there's all different styles. Obviously this one's easier to read. This one looks good, so they're nice to put in sometimes, explain text like I'm doing on the videos. And go back to, there's a sans serif, which means no flourish, so they're straight on there, and you got tons of stuff to choose from, so it can be overwhelming. But basically just go with a couple and pick something that might represent. Maybe for your logo, you might want a fancy font for that, but you wouldn't use that, for reading text and things like that. And here is over at fontsquirrel.com, and another free thing, and you have to look to see if you wanted to download it. You can download it and check out the license for it. And they've got some great fonts, nice setup on here. And the last but not least place you can go is, and we're going to use is canva.com, and we're going to use this later in the steps. And here I'm just in the logo area here. If you click on the text, you can see that they got tons of text here, and it's the free ones are all here. Right, so let me load a couple things here, something real simple. So say you wanted to use like this guy here, so we just drag it over and change the color so you can see the background. And then the fonts, you just click on that, and there's all your fonts. So if you wanted to go, they've got tons to choose from in here, which is cool too. You can write down the name, which one you want, and you can also upload your own fonts if you wanted. If you pick some fonts you really like from the other 2 websites, you could use those. So let's just see what we got. A Robo font. Looks cool. Ribeye. So you get the idea. So get going to these. You got, again, fonts.google.com. You got free fonts here on fontsquirrel.com. Check out what the difference is. And also canva.com. You can check it out there. Okay, and we'll do a little more work, like I say, in canva.com and coming up in the videos. All right, so assignment before step 3. Okay, for step 2, you're going to check out the above sites, the Google or wherever you want to get some fonts from, and choose a font or a font pairing. Add examples to your class project. Okay, and then after you do that, we'll move on to next, step 3, psychology of colors. So don't forget, post in the class projects, and we'll see you in step 3.